Today, we're going to talk about how to switch your feet on a surfboard. So let's get right into it. Welcome back, I'm Evan Netch. If you're new to this YouTube channel, we're doing a whole series on progressing your strapless surfboard riding. So if you're new to kiteboarding, if you're new to this channel and you want to progress your riding, check it out. We're going to be breaking down everything surfboard and everything without foot straps to take your riding to the next level. Let's get into it on switching your stance, switching your feet on a surfboard, kiteboarding. So breaking it down, there's basically two different ways you could potentially switch your feet when you're riding a surfboard. One is you're starting heel side, back into your wind, riding this direction, standing on the board. And we're going from riding heel side, our normal riding position, to riding toe side. Or secondly, we might be starting riding toe side and switching back to riding in the heel side position. So switching your feet, where do you start? Which direction? How are you going to go about making your first attempts and making this most successful? First, I would break down your own riding. What is your stance? Are you left foot forward? Are you right foot forward? What's comfortable for yourself? Personally, I'm left foot forward. I'm regular footed. So for myself, naturally, I'm always going to be finding myself going toe side on a same tack where I'm switching into a left foot forward toe side riding position. So for myself, that would actually be going the other direction that I'm going right now. But if you're right foot forward, the best way to go about switching to toe side is from your switch stance, your harder stance, your left foot forward, putting yourself onto your natural, good right foot forward toe side edge. So think about your riding stance, what works best for you. So if I am someone who's right foot forward, what I want to do is be riding heel side, left foot forward, and I'm going to be working on getting going toe side, right foot forward. So first off, we're going to break down going from heel side position to your toe side position. But keep in mind, choose that tack angle that makes the most sense for yourself. So if I'm a right foot forward person, I want to be riding heel side, left foot forward. That way I go onto my stronger toe side edge. Now, the first thing to think about is your weight distribution on the board. Where am I standing? I think most people, when they're riding a surfboard, tend to ride the board pretty far back. And honestly, that's where those strap inserts are on most boards. But really, you can be very far forward on a surfboard. With that volume farther forward, with that rocker, you can have a lot of weight over your front foot and be riding pretty far forward. And my natural riding position is farther forward on a surfboard, maybe even than those inserts are. I like to have my back foot a bit further forward. It's a little more efficient, allows me to ride the board flatter, better upwind, better in light wind. And for switching your stance, this is going to be more stability. So the first thing I would concentrate on is just riding nice and straight, nice and easy, and not edging super hard. We don't want to be going downwind at the kite. We want nice constant pressure, but we also don't want to be edging. Having the board flat is going to be a more stable platform to switch your feet on. Secondly, realize when you're riding, wow, you can really put your weight on that front foot, because when we switch our feet, that's what we're doing. We're going to be shifting all of our weight forward, and essentially 100% of our weight for a moment is going to be over that area of the board where your front foot is. We don't want to have all that weight drop to the back of the board. That's where you're going to kind of wheelie out. You might spin into the wind and really lose a bit of control. So in switching our stance, our weight shift in switching our stance is always going to move forward on the board. So flying, we're going to break this down into two different kind of aspects of what you want to work on. One is what's the kite doing, and two is what are my feet doing on the board. First, let's concentrate on the kite for 1 second. We want to have the kite nice and steady. We want the kite a bit higher. That's going to create lift. That's going to make you nice and light on your feet and help balance you out. And again, we're not edging very hard, so we don't need to have that kite low. So a high kite that's still in front of 12 o'clock, keeping that forward speed is nice. That stabilizes you and keeps everything nice and comfortable. Now, with the kite high, we can kind of think about what we're doing with our feet. And like I said, we're going to be moving our weight forward. So what I like to do is take my back foot, I'm going to move my back foot forward and then my front foot back. And we want to do this in as few steps as possible. So what I like to do is if I'm riding, bar in my hand, kite's nice and high, maybe about 11 o'clock. I've got both hands on the bar. I'm leading with my front shoulder. Now, as I step forward, I'm going to bring my back foot forward and almost make a T out of my feet, really trying to bring these toes across and put this foot in close to its final position. So front foot's gonna come back, and then as soon as this front foot lands, my old front foot is gonna go back on the board, and then I can kind of, just pivot this foot around a little bit on my heel into a better riding position. So if you look, as I bring my back foot forward, I'm actually letting go of the bar with my front hand. While the kite stays nice and high, what this does is it allows you to open up your shoulder, open up your chest into the wind, and get into a nice toe side position. If you keep that front hand on, you're really twisted, and this is where I see a lot of people kind of get stuck, and it makes that very hard to make it in one nice fluid step. So work your feet and your hand on the bar kind of in unison. That way your lower body and upper body can move together, and this is going to really help you be able to step into that toe side position. So that's going from heel side to toe side. Back foot comes forward, one plants on the board, and then your front foot comes back, and you release that front hand from the bar to allow you to face into the wind, chest into the wind, into a nice toe side riding position. When you do that, one other common thing that I see is sometimes people try to really hop quickly. And while you want to move your body quickly, you don't really want to hop on the board, because especially in a little bit of chop and wind gets under the board, that's a potential for the board to kind of lose a bit of control, fly out from under your feet, and your feet aren't going to land perfectly. Where if you do one nice step and plant your feet, you'll have a lot of control, and you can always make that little micro adjustment after you're in that toe side position. So now let's do a quick breakdown on switching, starting from toe side to a heel side position. Again, for that rider that's, say, stronger on their right foot forward, it might be easier to switch your feet always on that same tack. So regardless of which way you're jibing, maybe you want to switch your feet when you're, in my case, heading out before I make the turn, and then when I'm coming in, I'll make the turn and then switch my feet after I make the turn. That way I'm always switching my feet on my strong foot forward in that toe side position. As you get more comfortable, I would certainly try to work both sides, both tacks, because the more ability you have, it obviously grows your riding in general. But starting out, focus on maybe switching to and from toe side, putting yourself on that toe edge with your whatever stance you're strongest in forward. So riding along in a toe side position as someone who is right foot forward or goofy footed, I want to now switch back to a heel side position. Again, I'm going to put that kite nice and high. That's going to help stabilize myself. And normally when you're riding toe side, you only have that top hand on the bar. That way you can extend that arm into the wind. It helps with leverage. It helps with your edging. So again, we're not going to be edging. We want to ride very just nice and straight across the wind, not upwind, but not downwind. Kite nice and high. That way your board's flat. Everything's easy, stable, and in control. And again, you can kind of be sheeted out. And even when you go to switch your feet, if you sheet in just a little bit, that's going to help you step around. That's going to help you kind of lift and be a little bit lighter on your feet. But it's the same principle as switching to toe side as back from toe side. So in our toe side position, we have our front hand off the bar. As we bring our back foot forward first, again, I almost try to make that T out of my feet. Back foot comes forward. My upper body comes around. I'm going to get this front hand back on the bar. And then my back foot is now going to go into place. And my upper body and my lower body kind of move in unison with my hands on the bar. So again, toe side, left hand's off the bar, right hand is on when I'm going right foot forward, toe side. Front or back foot's going to come forward, foot comes into place, and then my back foot goes into place and my front hand comes back onto the bar to kind of maintain normal edging. Again, I'm kind of working more of this middle half of the board rather than being very far back on the board doing all my feet switching. Weight forward, board flat is certainly the key, and keeping the kite high. So that's your toe side to heel side foot switching transition, or heel side to toe side. More videos like this. Keep progressing your strapless riding. Visit this YouTube channel, much more to come.